Today we're here in the city of Portland, Maine. We're going to be taking a tour of the Eastern Cemetery, which was established in the year 1668 and was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. Let's take a look. Eastern Cemetery, chartered 1668, declared a National Historic Site, January 1974. Here lie the hardy, courageous early settlers, the men and women who founded and defended this area, who made history in civil life, government, law, the arts, education, religion, in the state and in the nation. 3,848 named graves, including defenders in the colonial wars, 150 soldiers of the Revolution, defenders in the War of 1812, the Civil War, and 206 unnamed graves of the early settlers. To them, this tablet is dedicated by the Longfellow Garden Club, July 1975. Beneath this stone, in the hope of a joyful resurrection, lies interred the body of Mrs. Mary Freeman, the pious consort of the Honorable Enoch Freeman. She died January 19th, 1785. It's God's will, and therefore just, that we should all return to dust. In memory of Mr. Joshua Allen, son of Captain Moses Allen and Mrs. Sarah, his wife, of Sandwich. I wonder if that means Sandwich, Massachusetts, out on the Cape, probably. Who died May 20th, 1805, aged 21 years. When friends do part, or when their graves do fall, it matters not. To die in Christ is all. Horace D., son of Horace W. and Sarah Ann Dickey, born March 31st, 1831, and died April 3rd, 1832. This row of stones here is with the name Newman. This is the oldest one, in memory of Elizabeth Newman, wife of Cornelius Newman, died August 6, 1798. Lemuel Moody Jr., Sergeant of the Massachusetts Militia, War of 1812, 1792 to 1855. In memory of Mrs. Nancy Leonard, wife of Mr. Abraham H. Leonard, who died October 9th, 1807. Captain Jacob Adams of the ship Charles was wrecked on Richmond's Island, July 12th, 1807, where he and his wife with 14 others perished, aged 35 years. In memory of Jonathan Haskell, son of Mr. Nathaniel Haskell of Gloucester, Massachusetts, who died October 1st, 1800, just 22 years. When blooming youth is snatched away by death's relentless hand, our hearts the mournful tribute pay, which pity doth demand. Sacred to the memory of Mrs. Hephzibah Shedd, wife of Mr. Thomas Shedd, who died September 22nd, 1799, 46 years old. In memory of Mr. Thomas Hodges, who died July 26th, 1798. Nelson Ratcliffe, Massachusetts Militia, War of 1812, 1786 to 1855. Here we have a whole row of the Ratcliffe name. This one's falling over. This was the sea captain. In memory of Captain John Ratcliffe, who died February in 1805, just 26 years old. Next to it, there's another stone. Date of death is 1826, probably his wife. God's noblest work, an honest man. Moored from the storms of life, here rest the remains of Captain Daniel Bragdon, whose spirit death summoned aloft on the 16th of April, 1819, after a voyage of 57 years, in memory of Miss Margaret Riggs, daughter of Mr. Stephen and Mrs. Margaret Riggs, who died May 9th, 1796. How smashed up this one is. Looks like somebody took a sledgehammer to it, which is strange. There's a date here. 1838, it looks like. I wonder what the story behind that is. This one is of two children. Augustus Chase was born August 23rd, 1799, and died September 11th following. Here his sister, Julia Chase, was born July 8th, 1798, and died 22 of the same month. Children of Solomon and Mary Chase. And right next to them are the parents. Sacred to the memory of Mr. Simon Chase, Esquire, who died on August 10th, 1806. He hoped in God. Hope wipes the tear from sorrow's eye, and faith points upward to the sky. Oh, when will it be morning in the grave? Oh, spooky. And here is his wife. Again, the parents of the two young children that passed. In memory of Mary Chase, wife of Salmon Chase, Esquire, who died August 21st, 1801, just 31 years. In memory of Mr. Palathia Fernald, born in Kittery, Maine, August 3rd, 1743, and died in 1816. In memory of Lucy Pierce, wife of Eli Pierce, who died October 31st, 1802, aged 30. Remember me as you pass by, for as you are, so once was I. And as I am, so you must be. Therefore, prepare to... And I can't read the last word. Any guesses? It's pretty cryptic. Alonzo P. Stinson, 3rd Sergeant Company H, 5th Regiment, Maine Volunteer Infantry, age 19 years. Killed First Battle, Bull Run, July 21st, 1861. Sergeant Stinson was the first volunteer soldier from Portland to give his life for the preservation of the Union in the Civil War. This memorial, erected by the survivors of Company H, presented to the city of Portland, July 4th, 1908. Interesting statue. It's actually, I believe it's supposed to be a rucksack. You see the buckles down there and the blanket. Richard Hill, OS Gunboat 47, New York Flotilla, War of 1812. James Bowes, Mass Continental Line, Revolutionary War. Cato Shattuck, 15th Mass Regiment, Revolutionary War. Captain James Sawyer, died March 14th, 1845, aged 81 years old. Richard A. Kelly, died October 28th, 1828, 20 years old. In memory of Margaret, wife of Mr. James Holmes, died October 1826, aged 16 years and 4 months. Her race was swift, her rest is sweet, her views divine, her bliss complete. This alone the husband cheers, and joy wipes off the briny tears. In memory of Mrs. Eliza, wife of Mr. Hiram Bagley, died September 1824, just 19 years old. my friends most dear, weep not for me, when in this yard my grave you see. My time was short, and blessed was he who called me to eternity. In memory of Hudson Bailey, drowned at sea August 19th, 1798, just 48 years old. Also, Sally, wife of the late Hudson Bailey. She died in 1838 at the age of 87. She went on to live quite a long life after him. In memory of Mary, wife of Josiah Williams, died March 6th, 1825, age 27 years. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. If so, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Once again, thanks for watching.